Introduction, Key Facts. The Dokart Plus is a high-performance, easy-to-handle lifting appliance, specially designed for lifting and moving Dokart table systems. The telescopic lifting tower enables the repositioning of Dokart tables in room heights from 2,10 meters to 3,80 meters. With stacking frames installed, room heights up to 7,30 meters are possible. The attachable extension set ensures steady, safe operation for repositioning even extra high tables. With a maximum load-bearing capacity of 1,950 kilograms and a maximum speed of 5 kilometers per hour, the Dokart Plus is nearly unbeatable for efficiency in moving table systems. General safety instructions. The Dokart Plus can be operated by only one person at a time, and this person must have received appropriate training from the machine owner. This person must wear the safety clothing required by law in the country in which the cart is used. Never use the cart to transport a person or persons. Every Dokart Plus is supplied complete with an operating instructions booklet containing more information about operation and maintenance. Safety instructions for job site environments. Before the Dokart Plus is used for repositioning tables on the job site, some points have to be taken into account to ensure smooth and safe operation. It is important to have a working surface of adequate load-bearing strength, because each wheel applies a compressive force of up to 900 kilograms. Especially in underground car parks and on ramps, do not exceed the cart's permissible inclination of 3%. The extension set has to be installed if the cart is moving transversely to the inclination. Before you start the repositioning operation, notify the rest of the site crew and make sure that the working area is free of obstacles, that no one is in the way, and that there is plenty of space for safely avoiding openings in the floor. Starting the Dokart Plus. Before starting the Dokart Plus, check that it is in full working order. The necessary points are stated in the operating instructions and are also in a checklist on the sticker affixed to the drawbar. Also check that the spreader beam mounted on the Dokart Plus is of the correct length. With the emergency stop switch in its not activated position and the drawbar vertical, turn the key to the right to start. The Dokart Plus needs about 10 seconds to warm up, then it is ready for use. Operating the Dokart Plus. To move off, pull the drawbar down. The cruise control can be operated with either hand and enable you to select forward, reverse travel and control the speed of the cart. Move the drawbar to the left or right to steer in the desired direction. As soon as you start to steer into a curve, the cart slows automatically. To stop, either release the cruise control or return the drawbar to the vertical position. No matter where you are pulling the cart or pushing it, always keep a good look out in the direction of travel. Particularly when you are pulling it, keep well clear of the Dokart Plus. If the red bump button is pushed in, the cart stops instantly and reverses a short distance away from the operator. In an emergency, hitting the emergency stop button will also stop the cart. To enable tables to be maneuvered without difficulty, even in tight spaces, the Dokart Plus can also travel sideways. To activate this function, move the control switch from the position for forward and back travel to the position for sideways travel. The indicator light comes on as soon as the cart is ready to move sideways. Sideways movement is possible only with the drawbar turned sideways, and the cart will move only at half speed. The button on the right-hand side of the drawbar is for stepless up and down control of the lifting tower. For safety reasons, lifting operation is possible only when the cart is at a complete standstill. Lowering on the lifting tower is possible at reduced speed when the cart is moving. Repositioning of table formwork. Before lifting up the table, make sure that it has been fully prepared for repositioning and check the security of all the connections between the table and the floor props. By making sure that the fastening clamps of the floor props are all facing inside out, you will find it easier to drive the Dokart1 into position underneath the table. To pick up a Dokart1 or Dokart table, position the cart directly under the center of the table. Make sure that the cart is not off-center by more than 20 centimeters in the longitudinal direction and 10 centimeters in the transverse direction. The red centering marks on the lifting frame help you to center the table. Raise the table slightly and slide all the props up so that the lifting tower can be lowered for the repositioning operation. Now lower the table form until the feet of the retracted props are about 10 centimeters clear of the floor. Move the table to the desired destination. Make sure that the table does not bump into any obstacles. If you have to operate in tight spaces, you need the assistance of a second person as a spotter to give directions. When the table is in the correct position, raise the lifting tower, set all the floor props back to the correct height, and then lower the tower and the table. Table formwork for bigger heights. If room height is more than about 3,80 meters, additional measures are necessary to ensure that table units can be repositioned efficiently and safely. For these operations, 1, 2 or 3 stacking frames, including a distribution beam of 2,65 meters, can be attached on to the Dokart1 so that tables for room heights up to approximately 5,80 meters can be moved. First remove the spreader beam 1,80 meters, then install the required number of stacking frames as described in the user information for Dokart tables. For heights in excess of 5,80 meters, tables with the Dokart table frame are used. This configuration can be used for room heights up to a maximum of 7,30 meters. In these shifting operations, along with 3 stacking frames, the extension set has to be used as well, to ensure the highest possible stability. If the Dokart1 is going to be used afterwards for a job with lower room heights, the stacking frames have to be removed and the 1,80 meters distribution beams reinstalled. Parking and maintenance. When preparing to park the Dokart1, make sure that the floor in the parking area is smooth and level. As soon as the drawbar is in upright position, the Dokart1 is automatically braked and secured. As soon as you park the Dokart1, for safety reasons remove the starting key. As well as showing total operating hours, the operating hours counter also shows fault codes if faults occur. If the code cannot be interpreted and the fault rectified on the basis of the information in the operating instructions, contact a Dokart technician. Below the operating hours counter is the battery state of charge indicator. An array of 3 green lights, 1 yellow and 1 red light. If only the yellow light shows, you can continue working with the cart, but the battery has to be recharged soon. The red light means that a recharge is urgently necessary, because the batteries will be shut down to protect them from deep discharge. Recharging to full capacity takes at least 10 hours, and one charge usually delivers enough battery power for a full working day's operation. To recharge, uncoil the charging cable from the Dokart1 and plug it into a 230 volt power outlet. In countries with a line voltage of 110 volt, 60 Hz, the Dokart1 is delivered with a suitable integrated charging transformer. Apart from daily battery charging and the daily pre-start checks, the Dokart1 is nearly maintenance-free for the daily operation. However, it is the machine owner's responsibility to ensure that the cart is not modified or tampered with in any way, and that it is maintained strictly in accordance with the maintenance schedule set out in the operating instructions.